Hello YouTubers, my name is X Factor. Welcome back to some Battlefield 4 gameplay on Propaganda Conquest Size Large. A map that always gets my blood going, and this is a round that has it all. Epic moments, both armor and infantry, and I almost killed myself. Did you see Usain Bolt cross my screen? That's right, a friendly just passed by my face as I was getting my RPG out to increase my DPS, my damage per second, because I'm using the HE shell, which is rather slow firing, and it can be out DPS by other shells. The shell's best used when in cover and peeking when your shot is ready. We're going to talk about some things going on in the community, including Battlefest and what that means for news for us, more than likely huge news in the Battlefield 4 community, and of course what's going on in this round. First and foremost, I usually don't take my tank up Main Street because this sort of thing happens. You just keep getting baited and baited further in, and you're really not burning a flag or helping burn a flag. Are you stopping a potential back rage? Maybe. Do you have both flags to your right? Have you stopped their push on B and D? 9 times out of 10 when I jump in armor, I go for B and D. They're two very close points, and there's a ton of cover until the buildings start getting smashed. Bad Company 2 style, a la Erica Harbor. A map that I really miss. And here's another example. Should I disengage this guy? Probably. He's already disabled. I can get back to cover, get a couple quick heals. And again, the map is changing. The one thing I can tell you the most is to constantly change your mini-map zoom level. A lot of people notice I do that when I'm in the middle of gunfights or backing up in a tank or pull up your major map to see the flow of the enemy. A lot of times people are being spotted across the map and you will not see that as I hit the tank and get a double. I've been killed so many times on the receiving end of that, and here's a pro tip. If you're standing next to that tank as the train's going by, never ever touch it or place C4 on it. It will instantly kill you as I get a nice little wall bang as I'm trying to figure out which way that guy went. So A's flashing, our gimme's flashing. I need to get productive. We recover that. Now here's what the tanks usually do. They usually push up to C, and they push with all the infantry. That's one massive clump. It's not exactly happening here, but it usually happens the majority of rounds. And that's a bad thing to do, because when you're that clumped up, a couple guys can back rage you because you're not covering all the lanes. Remember, there's 2 concrete lanes outside of me, and then Main Street as well. That's enough room for armor and infantry to get behind you. And remember, if your APS is down, it just takes one engineer to take you out. The way the tank sits, your ass end is higher up. If you get one perfect ass shot from an RPG, that's at least 55 damage. You cannot turn the base of your tank. You can swivel your turret, but you still can't see him. Then you might want to get out of your tank and shoot him. Well, what happens if he shoots you in the face? Then you probably lost your tank. So this is one of those things I often say, never ever push to E. I made a mistake here. A pretty critical mistake, because they have armor and they've got tons of cover, not to mention all the RPG hiding spots, smalls, and straws. Just too much, too deep, push too far. And this is something that happens whenever you play lockers or propaganda or very linear maps. Instead of teams watching their flanks and watching their back caps, they just simply keep pushing, and they lose their entire back cast. And that's not good, because those are extremely hard to get, especially if the enemy has some armor presence behind you. Now, why did I wait to shoot this guy? So he could pull up and I could get a better angle. A perfect side shot does more damage. There's 41. I could do even more if I want to correct my angle, but at this point he already gave me 2 wonderful side shots. Why not just finish the deal, get a couple reps, then simply back up, let the infantry kind of invade the area and protect me from the various angles. That's something a piece of armor should know. You're only as strong as the infantry around you, and the infantry is only as strong as the tech protecting them, whether it's watching a flank or pinning down infantry so people can rush the guys with the RPGs, straws, and smalls on their shoulders. It works both ways. So I usually let the infantry go to work like busy little bees, and then I'll feel free to push back out in the lane. Now here's the tricky spot. To just go down Main Street with my ass turned, probably not a good idea, because I've realized I've simply pushed in too far. Waiting for a tank to pop, see if that explodes, and simply does not. This is basically written my own demise, and there is some of the cover. Hit him for 36, trying to get under cover, trying to turn my tank so I take a little bit less damage, and steal one last repair. But guess what? I'm getting hit from all the angles, because this is their gimme. You're going to take it, but more than likely, they're going to take it back very quickly. So I would rather take B, D, and A from this side. C's a nice bonus, but remember, people zerg C. It's often hard to take. Therefore, I usually try to work the flanks on C, alleviate some power positions so our team can push. It's like busting a hole in a dam. Sometimes you hit it just hard enough that all the water comes rushing out. But at the end of the day, sometimes you don't make that push because people are just playing spots. They're camping corners, and they're playing lines of sight. A certain container, a certain angle, and they're just not going to move no matter what happens. I can't tell you how many times I've back-raged a group of 5 or 6 guys in a corner, only to come around the corner and see 6 or 7 guys just pre-firing and holding mouse button 1. They see me run through. It's like they're stuck in concrete. They don't want to move. That's Battlefield in a nutshell. Remember I talked about a tank being taken out very quickly? There's 53. Didn't get the perfect 55, but he still is immobilized. So I don't even have to worry about my angle all that much. I could have rep tooled the back, finished the deal, holding E to get into the vehicle. That means I would have auto got in if he would have gotten out. But then we would have been playing the RPG game. Is he an engineer? Is he not an engineer? Is he going to shoot me? Can I go down with this tank? Either way, my team wins the battle. Pushing on E yet again, seeing all the ATVs flying all around, hit fire guy, and look inward to the flag. It's always important to protect the flag burn and not chase kills. Be on burn, don't chase kills. I can't tell you how many times where I've been in the middle of a flag fight, I'm one of 2 people on the flag, and we've got other friendlies chasing off the burn area to get kills. Meanwhile, they die, and we're losing the burn, or just simply don't win the burn because it's at a tied state. Maybe they have 2 bad guys. We've got 2 good guys, and we just simply can't make it go in our way. If you win the burn, it doesn't matter if you die. You're going to get at least 1 opportunity to spawn back on that flag. Is it a tank? Spawn with engineer. Support. Recon with C4. Is it a bunch of infantry? No problem. Bust out the LMG or your favorite assault rifle. Get that bag down and get those defib paddles ready. The last thing I want to talk about is the buzz and excitement behind the community, and that has to do with Battlefest ending, and that's December 9th. That's next Tuesday. This is a very important date. When I went to DICE LA, there was talk between the developers and Q&A sessions about a potential community DLC. Maybe reworking some Battlefield 3 maps, maybe some Bad Company 2 maps. It's all been speculation at this point, going from Twitter feeds and dev posts about the devs talking about spending quite a bit of time in Battlefield 3. Are they looking at Battlefield 3 mechanics? Are they looking at maps? Who knows? But we do know this, based on some of the interviews that they've given at events. We will know more when Battlefest is ended. My question is, what do you think it is? Do you think it's going to be a community-based DLC, not a premium-based DLC, one where the community gets 4 maps? Maybe we're getting 2 maps. Remember, they extended the premium calendar an additional year. They've got to fill it up with goodies, and knives and camos just simply aren't going to cut the mustard at that point. Is it going to be 4 Battlefield 3 maps? What's your vote? I'd love to see an Aftermath map. I miss Bazaar and Sen. What do you guys miss? Some Donovan Peaky? Some nose hair canals? What would you like to see if you had your druthers? The speculation is quickly going to be ending on December 9th on Tuesday. So keep your ear to the battlefield ground. The big announcement is coming soon, and I couldn't be any more excited. As always, YouTubers, thank you for watching. Thank you for hanging out, and we will see you guys soon.